Great. Yeah. Hi, Alan. This is Nadia from Global Admission. So it's good to finally see you. Yeah. And a little bit about me. I'm from Indonesia. I'm the student recruitment manager here. And why we invite you here for an interview is that because we are excited to know more about your stories as an international student from Africa studying in India. So first of all, can you please introduce yourself and where you come from and also which university are you currently studying at?
All right. So my name is Alan. I'm from Kenya, and I'm studying, or rather, I studied at Peria University in South India. That is in Tamil Nadu State in South India.
Cool. What program are you studying right now?
Computer science.
Computer
That is
science.
undergraduate.
Oh, that's awesome. So the most thing that I'm very curious of is why you choose to study in India. Is it a popular destination for Kenyan students to study in India? And why did you specifically choose to study in Periyar University?
All right. What I'd say is that first, the idea was not mine. It was my parents' idea. And then from my own research, I came to realize that India is one of the best hubs when it comes to tech courses.
Yeah.
So from that realization, I made it a point of, wanting to go to school there, because I believe that the knowledge that I gained from India is not actually the same knowledge that I'm getting studying in Kenya. So that's one of the key reasons why I chose to study in India. And to respond to your question, we have lots of Kenyan students actually undertaking courses in India. And I'd say that some of them simply because of the reason that I've given, some of them because of other reasons, but mainly it's because India is one of the best hubs when it comes to technology.
I completely agree with that. I think India has a lot of IT experts, right, coming from India, and then they work in like so many different national companies across the world. So definitely they have some good programs over there.
Sure.
So when did you first come to India?
In the year 2015.
2015, and then you graduated in 2019?
2018, around August.
Okay. So it was kind of like a 3 years program. So what was your experience the first time you land in India and also the first few days in India? I'm pretty sure it is a very different situation comparing your life in Kenya and also in India.
Yeah, that's very true. No, the very first day I landed in Mumbai airport, it was kind of a culture shock because all my life I'd just grown up, in Kenya,
Yeah.
seeing African people and a
Yeah.
few, foreigners and all that. So now this is me in a foreign country with a lot of foreigners speaking different languages and all that. So my first few days were quite difficult because in India people speak a different language from what I speak,
Yeah.
and most of them speak their mother tongue, I'd say. And for me, I was actually familiar with English and my national language. So it was quite of a task, walking out of your house, going to the shop, trying to shop some things. You need to actually speak the Indian language and all that. So the first few days were quite challenging. The foods in India, I was actually used to my foods. And see, I'm in a new country, so I have to eat new foods.
Yeah.
For instance, I had to get used to eating chili because Indians, with chili, they have a lot of chili. So I had to get used to taking chili and all that. So the first few days were quite a learning process. I had to learn and adapt to the new cultures and all that. And I'd say that after that, I was also, you could call me a local.
Oh,
That's
great.
I was actually used to the cultures. I was actually used to the food. I was used to generally their ways of life. Basically, my experience is that I learned new things in India that I couldn't have learned back in my country. For instance, interacting with new people, learning how they do their things, learning, their ways of worship, learning their ways of actually, entertainment, learning their ways of thinking and all that. My stay in India was actually a learning process, more of a learning process, apart from me being a student, but also learning the cultures, learning how people think differently from how I think and all that. And I'd say that it actually was one of the best experiences ever in my life.
Definitely, definitely. So how did you like the food, India? I mean, I love Indian food. They're one of the best. And because my culture from Indonesia, with a cultural background like this, we are used to like food with, like a lot of spices and everything. So we love that kind of strong flavor. So how did you like Indian? Yeah.
I'd say that Indian food is one of the best because of spices. Spices spice it up.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
it was actually one of the things that I enjoyed. Their meals, things like paroti, things like biryani and all that, So I enjoyed their foods in as much as in Kenya, some foods are also here. especially biryani and some other stuff. But their food was awesome. Although on my first days in India, it was kind of tasting quite different because,
Yeah.
leaving my time like, eating some type of food and then changing to another type of food.
Yeah.
But I'd say that
Understandable.
their food is not the best. And I really enjoyed it. That's all I can say.
Mhm. All right, awesome. So, during your studies, like, how was your study experience like? Do you have many international friends inside your class, or like, how's the study environment in your university?
Talking of my studies, actually, I'd say that India, unlike Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
they follow a specific routine. When you study in Kenya, in the Kenyan universities, they always believe that you're a grown up. So you don't need to be controlled and such things. So
Mm-hmm.
in Kenya, they don't have many rules. So I had that in mind that I'm going to India, but I don't expect to have many rules in universities and something of that sort. But when I go to India, I was shocked to find out that there are rules that you need to follow. And
Okay.
these rules are often strict rules. So
Mm-hmm.
that made me actually learn that in life, in as much as you are grown, in as much as you're an adult, at some point you need to follow a certain set of rules.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I learned. And also I'd say that in my learning, I also got to understand a few of the languages. I understand every Indian language because India does its education in two ways. We have the English system and we have the
Yeah.
local system. So at some
Okay.
point I used to pop into the class where they're taught in the local system to
Okay.
get to see how they do their things.
Uh-huh.
So that was also something that I learned. And yes, I made lots of friends who we actually keep in touch today. We have lots of friends. We still have a WhatsApp group that's we used to interact and all that. So I'd say
That's
that
fantastic.
apart from friends in India, I also met friends from Arab countries. I also
Mm-hmm.
met friends from other parts of Africa, not Kenya, because I met people from different parts of the world, I must say. So yeah, it actually helped me network. It made me, meet new people that I couldn't have met without going to India. So now, if I feel like I want to go to a country like Malaysia, I know that there's someone that I can contact in Malaysia. I
Yeah.
find myself in Malaysia. So it was actually a very good thing, making friends, learning their ways of, education, and
Yeah.
learning how different our educational system is, quite different from theirs, and all that.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. So I think basically like studying abroad gives you like a new perspective to think. You're not used to the
Exactly.
things. Yeah, you're not used to the things that are like a lot of things can be new to you, but apparently at the end of the day, it's something new and it's enjoyable.
Yeah, that's very true. Something new, something enjoyable, something to learn. Because
That's right.
when you stay in your country forever, you don't
Yeah.
actually get to know what
Yeah.
is in other countries, and what you see on the media probably is not the right thing on the ground.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I agree.
yeah,
I agree. Yeah. Like you can like break a lot of stereotypes when you actually go there and like it can be like totally
exactly,
different than what it is portrayed in the media sometimes.
exactly, yeah, exactly.
Right. So, what was your activities after you graduated from the university in India?
Yeah, so when I graduated, I had to come back to Kenya to actually now start looking into what next with life.
Yeah.
So I did a couple of internships before, and currently I'm working as a lead digital trainer in the digital space. So that's basically what I do, and I also run an organization, a small organization in my village, and that's basically to teach young Kenyans on the importance of the digital skills and how best they can use the digital skills in the modern day world.
Oh, that's fantastic. I hope you are doing really great, and like I hope this organization is moving forward, and then it can impact so
Yeah,
many young
yeah, that's very
students.
true. As we are talking about actually attending a summit, as you can see, I'm
Yeah.
attending a
Yeah.
summit,
Oh,
being invited to visit my organization, and that's a
mhm.
good thing.
That's a fantastic thing. I hope you learned a lot from the summit.
Yeah, sure.
Hmm. So, talking back to your experiences in India, so overall, like, how do you like your life in India? So, if you could give a score from 1 to 10, what would it be, and why do you give that score to your life in India?
I'll give it a 7.5.
Mhm.
And the reason for that is because I made friends. That's number one. I
Yeah.
networked. So right now, I have a lot of friends from different parts of the world. Apart from networking, I'd say that I got to understand new things that I couldn't have got to know if
Yeah.
actually I couldn't have visited that country. So the learning experience, the cultural exchange, and all that actually makes me give it a 7.5.
Mm.
The 2.5% which I've not given is simply because at some point I missed home.
Yeah.
Staying in a foreign country, at some point I missed home and all that. So I cannot give it a 10 over 10. Let me just give
Yeah.
it a 7.5 out of 10
Mhm.
because of what I learned, and it has actually helped me in my thinking. Now I quite think differently, and I view things from a different angle.
That's fantastic. Yeah. How long is it from to travel from Kenya to India? Is it far away?
Actually, not very far. It's almost 7 hours, a flight of
Okay.
7 hours.
Mhm.
That is from Nairobi to Bangalore.
Mhm.
That's almost 7 hours.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so I think it's a fair distance.
Sure.
So yeah, from all of these wonderful experiences that you have, if you could sum it up, what do you think are the benefits of studying abroad and why future students should go pursue studying abroad?
I think number one, the biggest benefit is basically it will change your way of viewing things.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
when you move out of your country, when you move from your people, go meet other
Yeah.
cultures and all that, and learn those cultures, adapt to those cultures, it basically makes you believe that human beings can actually live anywhere because despite the color that we have, despite the race that we have, we're still one, well, in one and basically, we can interact with anyone in the world. We can
Yeah.
live with anyone. And actually, to make you think differently in the sense that everyone in this world is approachable.
Mm.
I can approach someone from Malaysia. I can approach someone from any other country, and we can really make good friends and exchange our cultures and all that. So cultural exchange is the biggest benefit that one will gain.
Yeah.
Number two, you need to actually, or rather, you studying abroad will help you learn the dynamics of a certain country and all that.
Yeah.
Dynamics in the sense that education, or rather the education systems and the modules of actually, or rather the modes of training are different. So you going to another system in another country will make you understand that people can learn this way because
Yeah.
how we teach students in Kenya is not the same way students are taught in a country like India.
Yeah.
You get to realize that in those countries that are basically, ahead when it comes to technology, they have more practical work than theoretical work. When you come back to a country like Kenya, we are more of theoretical work than practical work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Studying abroad basically enables you to up your skills in terms of practicals and all that. So those are the two key benefits. And we also have other benefits like it helps you grow in terms of psychology because if you can manage yourself in a foreign country, then that basically makes you grow psychologically. If you grow, it makes you actually become more responsible and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So those are the benefits of actually one studying far away from their home or rather studying abroad.
Yeah, I completely agree. Because then sometimes when you're abroad, all you have is yourself, right? Like you have to rely heavily on yourself. You have to take care of everything. You have to make sure you are safe and sufficient and everything.
Sure.
Yeah, and cultural exposure, I think that is definitely important these days, especially because like with the internet and everything, the world are getting more and more connected, right? So it's important to learn each other's culture and then embrace each other's culture as well.
Exactly. Yeah, true.
Right. So one final question here for you, Alan, is about the tips and advice for international students. So do you have tips or advice for future international students? And also, feel free to also like answer this in English. And if you want to answer it in your local language, that will be fine as well. And that will be fun as well because there might be other Kenyan students who can get inspirations and who can get some benefits from all the tips and the stories that you shared today.
All right. So let me speak in Swahili, which is my
Okay.
national language. And I go. Wanafunzi ambao wanataka kusoma ng'ambo ama wanataka kusomea ughaibuni, ningewaambia kwamba kitu cha kwanza ambacho nafaa kuzingatia ni ujue kwenye umetoka. Ukienda kusomea mbali, hakikisha kwamba hausahau kwenye umetoka na hausahau lengo lilokupeleka kusomea katika ile nchi. Kwa hivyo zingatia lile lengo ambalo lilokupeleka kule, nenda ukatengeze marafiki, nenda ukatangamane na watu kutoka mataifa tofauti tofauti, elewa jinsi wanavyofanya mambo yao, elewa tamaduni zao na jifunze kutoka tamaduni zao na ujifunze ni jinsi gani ambazo wewe kama mwanafunzi ulioko ughaibuni kule unaweza kuchukua tamaduni zao na zikakuwezesha ama zikakunufaisha katika maisha yako kama mwanafunzi na pia kunufaisha kwenye umetoka. Kwa hivyo ni hayo kwa sasa. So that's it.
Okay. So may I know what that means if I don't understand?
So what I basically said is that when you go study abroad, first you should always remember where you came from and always remember the reason as why you went to that country to study. The key reason which took you there is education. So focus on education and also learn other people's cultures, learn how best you can embrace other people's cultures, take the good things from those cultures and see how best you can use those cultures to improve yourself as an individual and also to improve your country back home.
That's great. That's fantastic advice. Thank you so much, Alan. One quick question because I'm very curious. How to say thank you in Swahili?
Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
thank you very much.
Okay. Asante sana, Alan, for taking a part in this interview. I'm so happy to have you here and to hear your stories and your tips for international students and also your wonderful experiences in India. So I wish you all the best for your future work and also for the organizations that you're running right now. I hope it can impact a lot more young Kenyan students to get more aware of the digital world and they can also pursue their dreams.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you for having me for this interview.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alan. Asante sana. Bye-bye.
Bye.